Hello, welcome to my ship tour of P&O's Iona. This was taken in early July 2022. Here we start on deck 16, which is where the buffet is and the Skydome. And here, just walking from the Skydome, which is in the middle of the ship, towards the rear, which is where the buffets are. This is Horizon Restaurant, and it stretches quite far back. It's pretty much the entire of the rear of the ship. There are quite a few of these gondolas, or I'm not sure what you call them, but these sections which are repeated with the food that are served on them. So you can go to one section, and if it's quite busy there, go to another section. They'll be serving the same food. This little bit here got a little bit tight on occasion. It could have done with being, another meter wider maybe, because especially at busy times, you're having to dodge people and move out of the way all the time. So this is now moving towards the back of the ship, going out the back towards the infinity pools. Little hand washing station there. These bits on the left hand side, and also on the other side, they hardly got used, and they're really nice. You can get your food from the buffet and go and sit outside, but in a covered area. Just to the right there's a little bar, infinity bar, that didn't get used very much. Little paddling pool there on the right as well, the kids can go in. This was the last day of our cruise, sea day, sailing back, and it was really calm, really nice. So yeah, this is more of the outside area of Horizon, and as I say, it didn't get used anywhere near enough. So coming back in the other side now, and walking up the port side of the ship, back through Horizon. Just to the right there, that's the rear lifts. Coffee and water stations, and tea, obviously, all the way through, and pretty much the entire time you can go here and get cakes or desserts. They've always got something on. And we're going towards the port forward section, which is where they do late night snacks. So it tends to get quite busy with all the drunk people after 11 o'clock, and I think it goes on till 1 o'clock, and they serve various food up there, and it does get quite busy at that time. As you can see, lots and lots of seating. You'll never struggle to find somewhere to sit. You may just have to queue a little bit to get food from the buffet. Right, this is now the crystal bar going back into the Skydome. That part on the left, where the glass windows are, the same as on the right. Really lovely place to sit. They have these footrests, so you can sit down, get some food from Taste 360, which is the pizza and burger place that we haven't been to yet, and sit there with your food and look out to sea. That's really nice. So now we're going up from the Skydome to deck 17. We never really got in the pool in the Skydome. It was quite busy. It was always quite full. So going outside to deck 17. To get to the other side of between deck 18 and deck 18, you have to drop down to deck 17, as you can see here. So we're walking up to deck 18. Now, deck 18 is a little bit hidden away. It doesn't get used that much. And this is where the quietest whirlpools, or hot tubs, whatever you want to call them, they're quite warm. They're not hot. They're not hot tub hot, but very pleasant to sit in. And just there, that's probably one of the quietest ones that you'll find. So this is the beachcomber area, and this is a really nice place to come, and it is a little bit quieter as well because nobody can find it. It's most easily accessible by going in the forward lifts and going straight up to deck 18 and walking through the smokers area. Sometimes the bar wasn't open here, which was a shame, because you couldn't really go anywhere nearby to get drinks. This part in front on the same deck is the retreat, I think it was called, the bit where you can pay extra to go into, but the weather wasn't ever really good enough for us to consider that. And this is up to deck 19, the very top of the ship, near the front, just above the crow's nest and just above the bridge. This is a nice place to come when you're sailing into port. Get a nice view everywhere that you need to look around. There's not very much up here apart from the sun loungers and a view. That's looking back down into the beachcomber pool. I found that the water in the pools, the outdoor pools, was slightly heated. It wasn't cold. It was kind of it was like cold swimming pool. You know, if you go to a leisure centre and they don't particularly heat the pool, it was like that. So it was fine to get into. Just took you know, you couldn't just jump in easily, but it wasn't freezing cold either. Right, that's the smokers area on the left hand side there. This is walking back towards the rear of the ship, or the aft. Down port side, which is the left, as you're looking towards the fore, which is the front. another whirlpool there. Those ones tend to get pretty busy because they're just outside the doors to the Skydome. I said the whirlpools on deck 18 towards the front are probably the quietest ones that you'll find. Everywhere on the ship you've got these little seating areas, and they don't really tend to get used. They're just kind of put there to fill space, and nobody uses them, which is a shame because they're really nice seating areas. Again, here you've got seats everywhere, but people tend to just go to certain places and don't sit on them. So here we're on the running track, which is on the back of deck 18. It's not very big at all. I ran around it for about 15-20 minutes on the first day, and that was all I could take because you get quite a few laps in 15 minutes. So just here at the back of deck 18 is the higher infinity pool that we just walked past on the right there. This is the panorama bar. I don't think I ever saw that open. And above it is the sports court and the golf driving net. I managed to use the sports court once, have a bit of a kick around with football. I just saw the games manager or sporting director, or I don't know what they're called, but the guy with the football anyway, and he gave us the ball and we went to have a kick around. Doing almost a full lap of the running track here, just so you can see that it is quite short. This little bit here in the middle is it's another sun deck. The same as deck 19, it just goes up at the front. It just goes up, and it's a little bit of extra sunbathing space. There are quite a few areas on the ship that it seems like they weren't really sure what to do with, so it's an area with sun loungers. And it's because of that the ship never feels crowded as long as the weather's nice and you're outside. If you're outside, then you've got all of this room and you can just keep on walking around, keep on moving around and almost see no one else. When it does feel crowded is when the weather's bad and everyone's inside trying to do the same thing, either go to the cinema, trying to get a Costa, book the same restaurant, that kind of thing. That's the kids club over there. Don't really know much about it, we didn't need to use it. And now we go up to the deck games area. Every now and again, when it was nice weather, we saw a few people playing games here, but it was sometimes quite difficult walking through because you get in the way of them playing their games. Doesn't seem the best design, really. And now some more whirlpools. Deck 17 there, completed. You can see the infinity whirlpool on deck 18 above, and there's one below as well. Then back down onto 16 at the back of the buffet. And there we go, back into the Skydome. Still on deck 16. This is Taste 360, where you can get pizzas, fries, and anything else they're making at the moment. Always tends to be lots of pots of mayonnaise, ketchup, and coleslaw. Okay, we are now down on deck 8. There are 3 decks lower down that houses pretty much everything else, which is 6, 7, and 8, and they're all joined by the Atrium. So it makes the Atrium kind of like the central point of the ship to go anywhere. So this is the deck 8, the promenade deck, which is the top deck of the Atrium. As you looked outside there, you could see that the promenade bridge area, that with the wraparound deck that you can walk all the way around. The Atrium was a very nice, welcoming environment, but it got very full, and sometimes it was quite difficult to get a seat. So now we're walking towards the rear of the ship, down the port side, past Ripples, which is where all of the amazing ice creams are. I never actually managed to get one, which I'm a little bit unhappy about. And then as you go through Ripples, it takes you past Sindu there on the left hand side. More seating there for, I presume, Ripples. Sindu we never managed to get into, didn't get, it was just fully booked constantly. And then as you move past Sindu, you go into the Keys, which is the 3 dining, not even sure what you call them, but little serving huts where you can get either fish and chips, Asian fusion, which is basically just katsu curry, or the other one was burgers or hot dogs. If you're vegetarian, your choices there were chips or the vegetarian katsu curry, and that was pretty much it. So that wasn't a lot of use for me as a vegetarian. This now is the clubhouse, which takes up a lot of area at the back of deck 8, and there was only one night where it was full and we couldn't get a seat. Most of the rest of the time you can just wander in here and get a seat, and it's a really nice, welcoming environment, very comfortable. And you can get out to the back of the ship on deck 8 here. And this is the sunset bar. Again, really lovely place to come and sit with a drink. This was quite early in the morning. If you're wondering why nothing seems to be open. those whirlpools get quite busy, and if you're in there, then expect to have someone else get in with you. You can get back into the clubhouse through various doors. So now we've come back into the clubhouse on the other side, and we're on the starboard, the right hand side of the ship, walking towards the front again. A good thing about the clubhouse is that you have TV screens everywhere, and the TV screens are showing the current performance. So no matter where you sit, you can still watch the performer, and that was a really good idea. As you come out of the clubhouse, the lift's on the left, but here on the right is the olive grove. It's difficult to stumble across, so we didn't find it for a while. And there is always cakes and fruit bowls and salads and various little bits on this little buffet section. So almost any time you can go there and get something to eat. Going down to deck 7. The view out the windows either side of the atrium was just stunning. That's reception. Going towards the rear of the ship on deck 7. A lot of it is pretty much just shops. So we're going now towards the main dining rooms, and deck 7 has one main dining room, and deck 6 has 3. Yep, that's where the shore excursions and the loyalty carousels are. So this is the one main dining room on deck 7, which is basically just the same as deck 6, but it's the upper section to it. Going back up the port side now of deck 7, back through the other side of the ship, through the shops. And coming back now out into the atrium. So really the rear of the ship on deck 7 is shops, reception, shore excursions and loyalty if you're into that kind of thing, and the one main dining room. Again, that stunning view. So now we're going to what is one of the busiest areas of the ship, and it's not the casino, it's Brodies Bar. Casino and Brodies are like almost one section, but the casino's pointless unless you really, really like casinos. And Brodies is really, really popular and gets packed because it does quizzes, and people like quizzes. What would be much better is if P&O just got rid of the casino or shifted it somewhere else or shrunk it or did anything with it, because it's dead space, and extended Brodies across the whole width. Just there on the stage, you have live acts there. That's where they do the quizzes. As you come out the one side of Brodies here, you go into the one side of headliners into the theatre. Unfortunately, we couldn't get in here at this time. You can get into the theatre from deck 7 or deck 6, and it's right at the front of the ship. But what tends to happen is when a show finishes and the headliners, everybody piles out into either Brodies or goes to the back of the ship to the clubhouse. And then going back around in the circle to the other side of the casino. Okay, this is still deck 7, back in the Atrium. We're now going to go down to deck 6. In front, that little coffee bar is does Costa, and when it's bad weather outside, it is chaos because everybody decides they want Costa coffee at the same time, and there are queues, and yeah, it's not a good experience. Right now on deck 6, this is the gallery.
Yeah.
Limelight Club there. That's where you can pay to have a meal and a performer. And this is towards the front of the ship. You have the Oasis Spa there on the left-hand side, and in front of you the lower entrance to the theatre. The theatre on the ship is quite large and really nice. Great stage design, great acoustics, great sound. Crossing over the forward lifts to the other side. Takes you nowhere. Now finally going towards the back of the ship on deck 6. Just on the left there, you have the harbour shop, which when it's open, you can get essentials. On the right here is Anderson's. That's the kind of slightly more exclusive feeling bar and library, and it's where they've got the gin distillery at sea there. Here on the left is the Ocean Studios, and this is towards the very centre of the ship, quite low down. So even when the ship's moving, you almost don't really feel it while you're sitting in the cinema, which is great. And the films were very good. You can't book these. You just turn up and look at the screens, and if someone's sat in a seat, then it will show you on the screen. And they're not huge, but they very pleasant to watch filming. They also have some vending machines down here as well with various cinema related foodstuffs. Just there on the right hand side. Anderson's wasn't used very much. You almost hardly saw anyone in there, which was a shame because it did look quite a nice area. So there's one of the main dining rooms here on the right hand side. Again, can't remember the name. Opal, Coral, whatever. The one on the left here is Opal. That was not open at the moment. And then as you carry on towards the rear of the ship, it is the other main dining room, the largest one. The only thing else that's lower down is the gym, basically, on deck 5. And this is one of the other main dining rooms. And that's it. Thanks for watching.